So if you can't already tell from the title of this episode, it definitely is not recommended for young ears. You have been warned. Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? Matthew Bivens here, and welcome to another episode of the Having It All podcast. Today, I'm riding off of some pretty awesome energy today as I record this, because earlier today I had a huge fuck it moment, and man, it was sweet. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about fuck it moments. And I have to give credit where credit's due, because I did not come up with that phrase for what I'm about to talk about. It was something that a close friend of mine, his name is Fred, he was telling me about fuck it moments years ago. Actually, he introduced me to the topic. It's something that he does in his men's groups, and he brought it into our company, and it was amazing. So I've just adopted it. So Fred, thank you so much, man. It is fitting that you were the one who told me about this, and you were the one where I had this moment earlier today. So what I'm going to do is sort of share a little bit about what went down, why it was so awesome for me, and then just how you can use this and use this story to just identify those fuck it moments in your life and really take advantage of them. So all of this started early this morning. On Fridays for the past almost 4.5 years, I have been doing what I call Friday movement. And normally it's been with my friend Fred, and we typically go for a run, go for a hike, and we just get ourselves into movement super early on Friday mornings. And it's been this awesome ritual, this standard that we've held for years. Even as we've gone our separate ways in our careers and done different things, we've still tried our very best to come together on Fridays. So this Friday, this morning, we had a get together to go for a hike on a new trail over by the Chattahoochee River here in the Metro Atlanta area. So we meet up. It's like 7 in the morning, a little bit before 7, and we're the only people at the parking lot, and we just set off on this trail that neither of us had been on, and we go in search for the river. So we just start jogging, and we're having our casual conversation. We typically don't like to talk about business when we do our Friday morning get-togethers, because so much of the rest of our days are spent talking about business, thinking about business, yada yada. We like to have that Friday morning as just this time to be in relationship and in connection, and just using that time to share what's going on in our lives. What are some amazing breakthroughs we've had, or some awesome magical moments, or what are something that we're just stuck on, we need help with, and we really keep that time and space sacred. So we're on our jog, we're heading down the river, and after a couple of miles, we see water. So we're like, yes, we made it. We go over to the river, and we're hanging out, and I'm like, I've seen this portion of the river before. And we kind of walk a little bit along the bank and just kind of go upriver a few hundred yards. And I look around, and I'm like, oh, you know what? This is the portion of the Chattahoochee where people will jump off of the rocks. There's like a rock cliff and all these different heights, and people jump off of it. And man, as soon as I recognized that this was the portion of the river where people jump, there was just this part of me, there was this like little voice inside of me that was like, you should go jump. Why don't you go do it? And I had this massive amount of anxiety, not because I was necessarily scared, but because I knew that it was like I was probably going to do it. And the thought of, going in this cold water, swimming over to the rock, climbing up, jumping off, like it's just, it's not something you do every day. So I see this spot, I recognize where I am. That first thought creeps in, maybe you should jump. as Fred and I are chit-chatting, that thought and that voice gets louder. And it's like, no, you really should do this. And then I started thinking, you are going to regret it if you don't do it. Like, you better go and do this. And at this point, my heart is like beating out of my chest. And I think Fred saw it in my eyes because he said to me, are you going to jump? And without even hesitating, it was like one swift movement. Like, if you've ever seen the movie Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey, he's in the living room or the bedroom or wherever he is, and he goes to get undressed, and he like shoots his arms by his side, and his clothes just rip off. That's what it was like. I just put my arms to the side, and my shirt flew off, and my shorts came off, and my shoes and socks came off, and I was in my underwear, and I'm like, I'm going to climb. I'm going to swim across this river, climb that rock, and jump into the water. I had my fuck it moment. And it was awesome. Shoes came off, ran into the water. I don't like cold water at all. I freaking hate cold water. And just the thought of jumping into something super, super cold, man, that I wouldn't do that. If that was a fear factor thing and it was like hang out in a tub of ice, I'd say, no, I'm good. Peace. So I run into the water and, it's freezing, but I just keep going. I swim 100 yards or so across to the other side, and I'm exhausted. I pull myself up on the rock, and I'm trying to figure out where people jump. There's not like a clear path. So I climb up the rocks, and I eventually see what I think is the ledge that I spotted when I was on the other side of the river. And I climb up on the ledge, and then I look over, and I'm like, holy shit, this is tall. I'm like, damn, this looks super, super tall. And so I'm standing up there, and I just have my hands on my hips. And Fred actually got a picture of me at this moment. I have my hands on my hips, and I have a big smile on my face. But what's going through my head is like, fuck, this is so tall. Okay. All right. Fuck it. And jumped out into space, suspended for a few seconds, and boom, hit the water. And it was amazing. It was awesome. Swam back to shore, heart is pounding. Fred high fives me, and it was just an amazing moment. My adrenaline is spiking, and I feel alive. I feel awake. I feel alert. It was beautiful. And it was so cool because afterwards, I don't know where we were. I think we were at breakfast or something. Fred was like, that was your fucking moment. He's like, I saw it in your eyes. I saw it. You were contemplating doing this thing, and it created this anxiety in you, and there was some nerves, and there was some fear, and you had a choice. You had a choice between saying no, because one of those 500 reasons that I'm making up is good enough to keep me right here dry on the bank. And you had a choice to say fuck it. And you said fuck it. And so we are presented with these opportunities often in life, and you know them. You recognize them because it's those moments where you feel that knot in your stomach, and you feel your heart start to beat faster, and your adrenaline really kicks in. And there's that part of you, there's that voice in you that's like, you could do this. Oh, it would feel great if you did this. Oh my gosh, you would feel light if you did this. You'd feel exhilarated if you did this. You will regret not doing this. You better do this. You know what? You're probably not going to do this. No, it's okay. We'll pick that reason out of the hat. It's okay that you don't do this. No, it's actually smarter that you don't do this. It's actually foolish that you even thought about doing it in the first place. You want to stay on this side of the river. You need to stay dry. You need to stay comfortable. And that's how that thought process goes sometimes. But every once in a while, we say fuck it. And so I just wanted to share this story to perhaps bring a little bit more awareness to your potential fuck it moments. Maybe it happens today, maybe it happens tomorrow, but sometime soon, because that's the way the universe works. You listen to this podcast, you listen to this episode, and you are going to be presented with your very own fuck it moment very soon, in the next 24 hours. I can absolutely almost guarantee it that it's going to happen. And it's going to be a beautiful opportunity for you to choose courage, for you to become comfortable with discomfort, for you to just step off the ledge and be like, hey, what's the worst that could happen, right? So I'm excited for you. I want to hear about, what fucking moment you've had recently that you decided to go ahead and jump, or maybe tell me about a moment when you didn't jump, because boy, I've had so many of them. I've had so many moments in my life where I knew I was at a crossroad, where I could feel my heart pounding, where I could taste that sweet feeling of accomplishment, pride, fulfillment, joy, happiness on the other side of saying fuck it. I could taste it, but that fear was just like it was cement blocks on my feet, and I stood rooted and I didn't do any action. I didn't take any action. I didn't move, and I felt terrible. I know what that feels like. So if that's you, if you're in it right now, if you're faced with it in the next few hours, I just want you to keep that in your mind, the fuck it moment, and know that you're going to be just fine. And just know that there's that sweetness, that life, that living is on the other end, on the other side of those moments. Living happens when you step out of that comfort zone, when you just go ahead and jump into that water. That's when you feel alive. That's when you get a chance to just discover what you're all about. It's beautiful. So I'm excited for you. If you've got a moment you want to share, hit me up. mattcbivens@gmail.com. That's my personal email address. Or you can go over to my website, matthewbivens.com. Click on the contact form. Shoot me a note. I would love to hear about them. I would absolutely, I can read them if you want me. I'll read them on the air, or if you want, I'll just respond to it. That's totally cool. Just let me know. And I'm excited. I'm feeling, like I said, I'm feeling awesome. I feel like I can go conquer some stuff. And I'm excited for myself personally for that next fuck it moment that comes across, because that's just been a pattern for me the past number of years, is to jump. And so I know that it's going to be scary as hell, and I know that I'm going to sweat, but I also know that it's going to feel so beautiful on the other side. So I'm very excited for you. I'm also very grateful to you. Thank you for listening today. I appreciate it. And fuck it, right? My name is Matthew Bivens, and here is to you having it all.